We're going to go back and forth on this picture. And very sum up, very simple that we know now. The second brain, that is 100 years ago, they discovered, the Western discovered. But in Chinese, they discovered this second brain, they call Tan Tian, and back to many thousand years. And they have so many studies, so many practice on it already, okay? And this second brain, this is the most important thing for the West to understand, is this. The gut means the whole digestion, absorption, elimination system, okay? And actually involved with the liver, gallbladder, pancreas. They're all involved with digestion. So this is the gut. And they have the brain. And they can receive impulses. And the most important part is they discover that, and this published everywhere in the whole world, in every single language also, okay? And the most important part is they can receive impulses. When people shout at you, bang, you feel like somebody punch you on the stomach, okay? And you get stressed. Now, the most important part is records experiences and respond to emotional. So it records all the negative things that people send to you or shout at you and everything. It records them down because it's a big brain, a very big brain. And so that is now. This is now they discovered that Parkinson is beginning actually 10 years or 20 years ago. I mean a person, okay? And the beginning, the study is that is something corrupted in the brain and actually is in the small intestine. And that they also found the cell line, that line in the small intestine, and this is what beginning. All the Parkinson happen, this one have a knot, have a tangle, and you can feel it. And this is the beginning causing the brain Parkinson's. And now they discover more. Alzheimer also started on this small brain. And also a clot in the intestine. And because these two brains are linked together. And so now the most important part is this abdominal have so many nerves. There are 100 billion, there's a lot, right? 100 billion neurons in the extended to the entire length of the GI, and it's controlling all the digestion, okay? And this is the same. The Tao discovered this, and we can teach them how to learn. So we do a lot of Tan Tian, meditation, energy work, and they can learn also, you know. So so the second brain concept can be trained. But the whole key is that after so many years of accumulated emotional stress, tension, now crazy. This brain eventually block upper brain because they link together. Because with the research they know. And now another worst part that we have is this is the West discover also. That means when the West discover, it confirms what the Tao been doing so many thousand years. It's right, that's all. Okay? There's nothing else. They discover it and they never do anything with it. It's great discover. The intestine, from the small intestine to large intestine, or the whole abdominal area, like a battery. They call villi. They can store energy. Like a battery, but the Tao developed them, we call a power plant. A power plant of the body. Is that important? Very important, a power plant. And they can charge energy. Okay? And nowadays, the most important thing that we have is what? Battery. Okay? A battery, right? We are the biggest bio battery that's moving around. So definitely, we can charge this battery. So if you know this, you can say, oh my God, how important this? Another important thing, very simple. This is the only one way, bring in the food supply and bring in the nutrition into the body. This is only one way. From the mouth all the way down, digest, absorb, and go to the anus and one out. So one in and one way out. That's it, on one way. Okay? If this one block, get big trouble. Supply route being blocked. What happened? The people in that village, you go hungry, eventually die. And that's what happened. Okay. So the lower dantian that we talk about, actually like a fire. And that's why in the basic 1, 2, and the cosmic healing that we've gone through. And so all these energy center can be charged. And every energy center is like battery also. But the biggest battery is here. If you don't get this battery right, the other battery cannot be charged, not going to be charged. Simple. That's it. All the energy center, or we call chakras, cannot be charged very easy. Because you don't get a power plant to have enough electricity to charge your battery. And how the other battery going to charge? And this is very real. So you can see the perfect combination of the Tao and the Indian. Because their culture, Chinese learn a lot from India, but India never learned much from China. You know why? Because Himalaya. So from India go to China is okay, but Chinese, they have no way, find a way to go up. Because that area is amazing. It's a wilderness. Who go there, they die. And you pass the Himalaya, is no way, you know. So that's why so this is the newest discover, okay? And they discover a new organ, and that is actually is a complex structure, and in a whole mesentery, and keeping this organ attached and control them in a working team, in a teamwork. And you know, I always suspicion that why we are working something under there. And actually we're working with the mesentery because the mesentery hold everything. So the whole mesentery, so when this mesentery does not attach to the abdominal, that means wall, abdominal wall, and or in the worst part is where then it can be twisted. It can be twisted. And when it twisted, the first thing is the blood supply. Here, all the blood supply, and it's called blood supply to stop. Intestine undergo a lot of problem. Eventually, they're going to die out because their blood supply cannot go there because it twisted. It twists. So whole thing is it twisted. Okay, and so can be very sure now mesentery, that is the one that holding all the whole digestion, absorption, and elimination, can be involved with at least a lot, not now, you know, this is old research now, I have to update it, many abdominal disease. And that you need many experts, okay? And so this is what, so all these organs, so they discovered this, the number 79 organ, and had to change the anatomy book. And all the anatomy book have to rechange because this abdominal attached to the stomach, small intestine, pancreas, spleen, and other organ to the abdominal. Because you have a teamwork. We just come and count from liver, gallbladder, there are 2. Stomach, spleen, pancreas, and duodenum, that is digestion. We don't talk about the teeth, the tongue, the saliva yet. They all work together as a team. Okay, and then if you put it there, it's about 10 different parts of things work as a digestion. And it goes down into the small intestine, oh my God, it's very long. It's the longest organ that we have. It's very long. It's separated into many parts. And the absorption. They digest, make it breaking down very small, so it can supply. It did that long because you need to feed 50 trillion cells. And when this part gone, when this part, the absorption have problem, so absorption have to always work with the heart, because the heart, when the absorption is a big job, feeding time, big. And the feeding time, what happened to the restaurant? Or fill up, you know. So if you in a big city, if you feeding time, what, lunchtime, right? From 12 to 1 or 2, oh my God, everywhere is full. Okay, and you have to change the way to eat maybe later than that, you know. Okay, so feeding time to feed only 7.8 or 9 billion people. How many restaurants we have? How many food chains we have? How many farms we have? How many chicken, egg, pig, pork, everything, you know, so much. Feeding time. Feeding time. So that's why abdominal, small intestine causes so many problems, all kinds of problems. And the most powerful addresses is in the two, because the wind problem. All the problem is the wind. And now they discover that, oh my God, there are certain bacteria that from the mouth, and we don't clean them out, we don't rinse them, we don't brush them well, that bacteria go in. They're not before they think that they're not going to survive in the stomach because they're acid. But now they discover they go in there. And when they go in, they see the acid, bang, they drill a hole into the stomach and make a wound, make an ulcer, and they stay inside there. So at least acid don't eat them, otherwise they die. And now they're producing a lot of gas. And big trouble, okay? And now, so this is the hole here. So here is the mesentery here. This is the second brain, where they discover, and now they give a name called mesentery. So they control all the digestion, absorption, elimination. And it's a big organ. It's a very big. Actually now, it's a connecting tissue. But they have brain in there, okay? So when we beginning, they already developed. We already developed this mesentery proper. From the beginning, this is umbilical navel. So we're going to do a lot of navel. From the navel, they already have this mesentery started, okay? And they control all these things. So the mind is so much involved with liver, heart, lung, and all these internal organs. Is affecting the mind so much. Because anything wrong, so this is the most important part in our body, bringing new food supply into our body. And if we cannot do it, so if we take all this, so what you do is all this, okay? All the intestine, all the whole abdominal, and the small intestine quite long, okay? So it's 8 meters long. So it's about 24, 28 feet long. It's quite long, very long, you know. So now you see, a woman suffer from pain and colic. There is in the whole. So it seems like the devil used a rope and tie up the stomach, and it's so much pain, so much twisted. and they always give to the devil doing that, you know. And headache also, a lot of little demon getting a hammer and poke on the head, you know. So there's a lot of demon causing all this problem and headache, you know. Okay, so we're going to do the first step is this. We're going to go to the whole organ, and we're going to working on the pulse. Okay, this pulse. So this is, you have them in your book. So this is the master chart or the master pulse, and you will use the detail we learn is in the Nei Tsang tool. Now, the whole key, you have that page 8. Okay. So the always we have to look for is navel. Okay, the navel. That's the first step. And navel we divide into. So from this navel, you have, you know, a small intestine pulse right on the navel area. Small intestine, and this aorta pulse. So from here up, nearly up 1.5 inches above the navel. Okay, you find a pulse, and that pulse we call aorta pulse is sexual organ and intestine, because intestine very big. Okay, and you have so you always have to find this solar plexus here. Okay, so solar plexus so easy to find. So this, just this alone here to here. So you touch the navel, okay, stick the finger into your navel, and the other hand stick on the tip of the sternum, and you break in the middle. Everybody is slightly different, and you have to find them. Okay, when you break in the middle, you press them down. We call solar plexus. So the solar plexus is the master pulse. Actually, the solar plexus is nearly all the digestive organ pulse is in here. So you have the stomach pulse, the stomach pancreas on the side. So if you find this one out a little bit, you can find the stomach, the spleen, pancreas, and now from the navel, from here you go up toward the liver. Here the liver pulse. Okay. Now from the navel you go up about 1 inch. So another easy way to find navel and solar plexus. Break about in the between. Okay, and that is the all the sexual organ. So when you activate this pulse, the blood flow into the inguinal here, inguinal pulse here. So here go up, and that's the sexual organ and the intestine. So all the major part of the. So if you activate this middle line, you have the sexual organ digestion, and you have all the digestion organ because it's very big. Okay, and between this and this here, and all the large intestine. From here go out is a kidney and adrenal. So that is in this whole abdominal is the a major part of the aorta and vena cava, and people always block. So when you work on this line, so we call 3 line. Okay, 3 line. Middle line we call the lymphatic system. The left line is the aorta. The right line is the vena cava. Okay, now but we have people are reversing. And we discovered that some people, not say everybody, if somebody, how many of you here have left-handed? One, okay. Two, three, four, okay. We don't know if they're real left-handed or not, okay. Now, like Jutta left-handed, and the aorta is more on where? On the right side. And Vinikawa more on the left side, right? They reverse. It's the left-handed. So sometimes because the first thing in this whole week, every time you have to find aorta. Otherwise, you have no GPS. You don't know where you are. Because you put down, everything is black. Only you feel the pulse. From the pulse, and you find all the other pulse along this line, but it's three lines, okay? It's three lines. So it's three lines like this. Middle line, a lot of people very tension. When you press down, oh my God, it pulled the whole back, and that is lymphatic duct. And there's a big duct, very big. And when people stress, the first thing affecting the whole lymphatic duct. And this lymphatic duct is a big in the between, because all the whole body lymphatic flow into here, and from the upper part. Left hand have their own lymphatic duct, right hand have their own, left brain, right brain, but the rest of the whole body, it go into one duct here, okay? The central lymphatic duct. So this duct is always very stressful. Now, when we're on four legs, we have no problem, okay? Well, because all the lymphatic flow is in this level. But when we stand up, lymphatic flow different, okay? So, so it's good to know that sometimes you cannot find the pulse. Usually, everybody touch the navel, and from the navel out a little bit, left side, you touch, okay? And that approximately is your lymphatic duct. The middle here is the lymphatic duct, and the left side is your aorta. And mostly, usually, you find a pulse. So when you're laying down, you press, you find a pulse. Okay, that's number one. Okay. Now, after that, so from here, you come up to the top, you still find the pulse. But when you go out to the left, no pulse. But you're actually pressing on the Vinikava, the blue blood. So this one. So when you press approximately here, so always the first thing, navel. So navel can be said, most of the time is your landmark. Okay? Now when somebody have like this, oh my God, you have to, now you hard to find their pulse. Why? Because this big tummy, and you have to go to all the fat and everything, but the pulse is on the back, all the way on the back, you know. Okay, and the pulse will determine that what the health of the people. When the pulse good, boom, boom, boom. You have to understand pulse. When the pulse strong, stable, that is good pulse. When the pulse boom, 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 like drum. Like drum actually affecting the heart, boom, boom, boom. When the drum of war in olden time is only way they don't have microphone. So if they go to war, they have to use the drum. Okay? So they have the drum of war. Boom, 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 boom. Make the heart beat. Because that make the heart boom, 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 boom. And you talk, let's go, fight, you know. Now, when you, oh my God, the enemy too strong and we die so much, okay, retreat, boom, 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 everybody run back. So the different drum, okay? And there is the heart, yeah, exactly the heart. So a very simple thing, always determine this person, good power, strong, easy to find, pressing down a little bit, oh, I feel power. Pressing down, I cannot see it, very weak. I cannot see it, oh, very weak. Go in again, so very weak, cannot find them. The power is very weak. Okay? Now the power is too fast. Boom, boom, boom. That is struggle. Okay? So this is only 3 power, determine simple. And when you learn the Nei Tsang tool, now we're going to go into this. You listen to this aorta power, the sexual organ blockage is reflecting on the pulse. And the intestine have problem, also this power weak. Now, the solar system, so the solar plexus and the digestion system have problem. Also, you get the power are weak or strong or too much, and this determine. And now when you're going to check what organ, like kidney are weak, you can feel this power. Nearly don't have kidney pulse, okay? It's nearly you cannot find them very well, or very hard to find them. Now if you activate the power, activate the pulse, now the blood go into the organ faster and get out faster. Now you can feel the pulse. So oftentimes, a lot of wrong thing is the pulse. Why the pulse important? Because it brings what? Blood supply, oxygen, and what? Nutrition into the organ, yes or no? Energy also, qi, into it. And now when it cannot go in there because the organ block, the blood vessel block, and what are you going to do? Food supply block. Okay, you know, olden time when we don't have all the transportation and all these things, well, when a big snowstorm comes, what happens? You have to stock food because you're gonna expect for day and day no food. Okay, so you have to be prepared. Our body do the same. Okay, so you have an idea. So one, we're going to activate this, and we're going to activate this inguinal power here. We have one inside, one outside. So that is the bladder sexual organ pulse. So we and the leg, the whole leg are going, and so all the organ and the leg, and this still involved with on the goy here. Okay, and now the blue blood we talk about more because most of the blue blood we do is in the Nei Tsang tool. Because when you find the pulse and you move little bit, you go into the blue blood, okay, and the blue blood have no pulse. That's why we cannot find them. That is the puzzle for me 35 years to understand that. Okay. So you see, we have the red blood supply to the whole body. We got will do this form for you this afternoon, and we'll explain to you the whole structure of the Nei Tsang. Okay. Okay. So the first step we want to do is the so basically is this, okay? So don't worry about the 35, 33. Oh, this we haven't changed. Don't worry about number. Now we're going to go into the color code. We're going to go into the color code. So the color code is the organ, okay? So The middle here, HT means the heart. Heart. Okay, everybody? So under the tip of the sternum, this area we call the heart region. So anything wrong with the heart, actually we are working on the liver. It's the liver. So the liver is under the heart. So if liver have problem, we're gonna get trouble. When liver too hot, and how you make the liver too hot? Angry. Very simple, huh? Angry. Make the liver overheat. Okay? Emotional, make it. So this is the liver. Oh. Okay. So, and here is the heart. Can you help me take the organ, move all this organ to here for me? Yeah. So here is the heart, and here the liver. So the HT is right here. The heart point, because the heart blocked by the rib cage. Okay? And I tell you, you have to come and play with this. That's all. Take it out, look at it, aware yourself, because you're working with the organ. There's no other way. Okay? And that's why in the in this part, people have to learn anatomy. The CNT Tsang have one requirement is you have to have. So nowadays, a lot of university give, you no need to do, just if you have high school, you just apply for the credit of anatomy class. So here, and the heart. Okay, so this is very basic, you have to know. Heart is here. So for 1,000 years, we said, when the liver overheat, usually food, you get very hot food, not spicy hot. It's too much, give you so much heat. We call high protein or something like that. Okay, so a lot of herb give you so high energy and you overheat, and eventually cause anger. And the anger is the heat from the liver. So the liver, like wood, and it burns. It's applied to the heart with fire. But the angry fire is not that good. Okay? Gentle, calm fire is good. So the point is right here. You actually work with the liver, cool the liver down. Now the heat from the liver not go up to the heart. So that is the first point that you have to understand. And the next point, so the next point is the so go over down to the right hand side. So everybody touch here, below the sternum, go down to the here. We call liver point because liver extended from here. So liver point, and under the liver is a gallbladder. Okay, so the gallbladder. So from here you go down. So liver is big, from the center extended to the left, to the right, and under here is the gallbladder. Okay, so that's why heart, liver, gallbladder. Okay, and in the end here we call the lung point, the lung. Okay, if you master all this and really work on it, you already started to have the crucial, important part of the CNT Tsang. Now on the center point, you started to go down to the So you started to go down on the left-hand side. So you have the stomach. So from here, go there is a whole stomach there. So a lot of time people have pain. That is beginning and stress. So we call the stress affecting the stomach to menstruality. Angry, stress, frustration affecting the stomach. Because the stomach very delicate, okay? And so this area, a lot of times people have pain. Okay, and you can feel it, you actually massage on the stomach. And when you come down from, so everyone is about 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. So when you go down here, we call triple warmer. The triple warmer, yeah. Triple warmer involved with a lot of hormone also. Triple warmer. So we have three, okay? And from here coming down, so the spleen are more here. So here is the spleen. So here on the left-hand side like this, more on the left, on the ribcage here, on the side here. So that's the spleen. So the spleen, and when you go down, is the lung. So you go down is the lung. And so all this is a major, all this is the major, oh, that's all broken down. We have to get a new model now. It's all broken down, okay? So lung, if you activate here, when you're breathing, when you inhale, breathe deep. So everybody put your both hand on both sides here, inhale. You feel diaphragm coming down, and there is the diaphragm, and the lung, tip of the lung here. Exhale, inhale, exhale, okay? So this is a very important understand the organ, okay? Now, the next one, you're coming out the navel, above the navel, actually is the kidney pouch. Exactly the kidney pouch, and above there is the, so if you look at navel, up, so here the navel up, 1.5 inch and up a little bit, that is both sides is the kidney and adrenal, okay, adrenal. And or this also has a heart constriction. So, or this is very good for you because we're going to do massage yourself. So here, and solar plexus, actually in the solar plexus. So above the solar plexus, there is a heart reflex point, heart center. And below here, the heart center is the solar plexus. We call the heart constriction. So the Tao very concerned about that because this point involves so much about the cooling down system of the heart. So we call they have two names, they call pericardium, heart constriction. It's a cooling down of the heart. So you should do it every night now, from the beginning here, heart, massage, and down, massage, okay? And when you do that, you started to feel that tension, tight, hot. That means the heart is too hot, overheat, okay? And from there you're going down, okay? So the navel. Navel, we divide navel, when you find the navel on the line here, out, and one long line this way, we call the bladder. Because when the bladder pain, that is affect a lot here, this area. Actually affect a lot. And when the kidney pain, also the whole back and all this area affected. So that is now the small intestine. So actually small intestine, the whole abdominal, but the reflex strong point is from the navel, and if you find the groin area, you break them into half, coming toward the navel area. So this area is the small intestine area, okay? And the last intestine, you have, so on the groin area here, on the groin here, inguinal here. So on the groin area, you have the, on the right-hand side, so remember that, on the right-hand side, here, right-hand side, and that is the ileocecal valve. And it's a very small valve here. Oh, we lost it. So intestine coming in and come up into a small valve. Okay? So this small valve here, bóngถ่ายทางนี้ดิได้ไหมโอเคใกล้ได้ป่ะSo here is a very small valve. So it's the right-hand side. So we call ileocecal valve, and we have the appendix, and we are ascending column. So all these things, I don't know, you have a base. You have to have some basic of the organ. So appendix. Now, it's very easy. Some people already have appendix take out, and you can see the scar, and you know that is very close to ileocecal valve. And from there, on the right-hand side, we have ascending column and transverse column. Transverse column is fold down. Because we stand up, it becomes fold. But when we go on like this, animals have no problem with intestine. They don't get constipation anymore. You know? Only when we feed them with the modern food, they have it, you know. So usually when they go like this, the intestine are hanging this way. But when we stand up, the intestine go this way, really bad. Now, one thing that we're going to be, you can start to do this, okay? It's a 45-degree decline. So you put your feet under the belt and you're laying down. When you're laying down, because we stand up, it go on like this, it fall. When you're laying down 45 degrees, it goes like this. At least you get your intestine some chance to don't subject to gravitation pull. So some people that get constipation, the stool cannot move and it's heavy. And this one go down, is supposed to be about like this. And now like this, go all the way down. Because the gravitation pull. And it's so bad for our health. So that's why if you have, at home you can have more higher pillow on the back and put your feet on the chair. And you have raise up this area. So this area can be not hang up like this, but more like this. So this is very good. So people have that they have, so we have two of them there. So you can try it out. And it's 45-degree decline. It's so good for people have a large intestine problem and small intestine problem because it's too heavy. If you have 3 meals a day, it's too heavy. Yeah. And especially the dinner too much, it's too heavy. You know? Okay. So it's go down this way. That's what they are. Okay. So now we finished that. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now, if everybody lay down, we don't have enough bed, huh? Okay, we can decline down. So I'm gonna guide you through. Everybody have the idea about that? Because when I guide you through, you just have to follow me, okay? And okay, so let's start again. Sternum, tip of the sternum, below, so it's a circle. So these two circles bigger. The heart. So any problem with the heart, if you massage here, it works. Now when it's too hot, too hastiness, too impatient, so from here, 1.5 inch, to here another 1.5, okay? And that is a heart constriction. Mean a radiator to cool down the heart. It's very important. People get heart attack, this is too hot, solar plexus too hot. And the heat push to the heart, and pericardium get very hot, and the heart burn out, boom, finish, heart attack. It overheat. And now we know that the heat in the West, it rises up. And many people have big trouble, heart attack and die in this very hot summer here. Okay, so this is the solar plexus. Now, to the left, to the right hand side, liver. Everybody follow me? Liver, gallbladder, and lung. And the left hand side, stomach. From the middle go out 1.5 inch approximately. Stomach, tipple warmer, and the spleen, and the lung. Okay, everybody follow? Okay, and from the navel, now you have to get the navel. Okay, from the navel, so you start, so here is the navel. Here's the navel. Okay, from the navel, you go up 1.5 inch, and you go out 1.5 inch, 1.5. So 1.5 inch, 4.5 centimeter. Okay, so from the navel up 4.5 centimeter, and go out also 4.5 centimeter. That is the kidney. Okay, now from the navel level, you go out to the side, both sides, and that is the bladder. So when the whole region is here, and it's go up into, so the bladder infection, terrible. Because the bladder, for women, have to be careful. Because the vagina have very big opening. And it always can get infection. When the vagina get infection, it could go right into the bladder. Okay, the urine. We have two holes, one hole for vagina, one hole for urine. So the infection from there go up to the bladder, and the bladder go right into the kidney, and the kidney go right into the blood vessel. There's a whole. So that's why when older people get bladder infection, big trouble. If you cannot get the infection down, now it spread everywhere. Because when you go to the bladder, there are two tubes go right from the kidney and go right into the kidney. And the kidney, blood go through it, now you go to the whole blood system. And infection just spread into the blood. And now everything gone, okay? So that is, and now, small intestine, if you find the large intestine first, so you put the hand on the groin area here, the groin area here. So the whole aorta, the ileocecal valve on the right hand side and ascending column. And in the left hand side is the descending column, sigmoid column, and the rectum. So that is a whole large intestine here. Large intestine have 4 corners. Okay, you have left and right on here. So 4 corners. Okay, and so from here break in the middle, small intestine. Is that okay, everybody? People need to go to the toilet or what? Okay, why don't we get a few minutes to go to the toilet? Few minutes.